D, you've got 3 choices for a date. Ali and Anton, their dream date is indoor snowboarding lessons. You've got a hill that doesn't look like it has fresh snow on it. It looks like it has ice on it, which scares the crap out of me a little bit. You've got your feet strapped to a board and a little conveyor belt that takes you up. You've got exercise. You probably have a hot instructor. Hot. Although, did Nick teach snowboarding?
I don't know.
I know that he has sex like he skis, according to Joe. So, okay, you have that option. That's option A.
Okay.
Option B is KB and Edmund's dream date. Your handsome man gives you a foot massage any way you like it, bare or clothed, your feet that is, and sings to you in a singing voice that, as somebody who truly has a deficit for any sort of singing talent, really any sort of speaking talent, I'm sorry, channel surfers, but he's maybe a notch up from me. He is a terribly bad singer just like me. Not quite as good as me in the good bad way. I'm worse. So I've got that on him. But you, with some work, you can get there, Edmund. You can reach this level of depravity. So that's option B, me singing though. And option C is tarot card readings and incense at the House of Manifestation. What do you choose?
Gosh, that's hard because you said a date. So if I'm on a date, I'm probably going to show my ass several times by falling and Lord knows what else, probably breaking something with the snowboarding.
So you are not picking me singing to you.
Probably not going to pick the feet either.
Well, I thought you were going to pick the tarot cards, and I brought my Halloween tarot card deck.
I was getting ready to get to the tarot cards. I was going to say I would pick House of
You only get one choice, Steve.
No, I was doing a process of elimination, Lauren. You didn't give me any time. I would do the tarot cards.
Okay, well, let's do it.
Let's
Channel
do it.
surfers, this is Love is Blind, Season 9, Episode 11. Don't go breaking my heart. And we are going to start the episode talking about Jordan,
Megan, and Luca's slumber party.
Oh my gosh, my brain just quit. It's like the battery snapped out. It's popped back in now. I could not think of anybody's name. All right, one of those senior moments. Love is Blind, Season 9, Episode 11. Don't go breaking my heart. Let's watch.
Remote reality, yeah, that's the key. Unlocking stories wild and free. With the host, side by side. Channel surfer.
Dee had her phone. I was about to say, Dee, I can't talk to you when you're on your phone. Like Nick told Annie. Can't be talking to you. He wasn't even trying to talk. Whatever, Nick. All right. Welcome to Remote Reality Channel Surfers. I'm Lauren.
This is Dee.
And we totally forgot to cover the Luca, Megan, Jordan sleepover. I dang near forgot their names at the beginning of this episode. So we're going to start by covering that. And then for fun, we're going to take our little Halloween tarot. We're going to pull one card for each couple of the 4 remaining before we start this episode and see what their futures hold at the altar. We're going to ask it for the altar. And then we'll jump right into the episode. So, last week's sleepover. Basically, you tell me what you think first.
I think everything went fine. Luca liked Megan. Megan loved Luca. They woke up cuddling. She thought it was a little challenging with the diabetes pumps and stuff, but she doesn't think it's, like going to be overwhelming. It'll be something she has to get used to. And she thinks she can handle it. Yeah.
Dad was on injections and Luca is on a pump in CGM. So she's not used to like the beeping all night. I am. One of the reasons Rob and I have separate rooms. That's no exaggeration. Sometimes just like your hormones will change your blood sugar. You don't even have to eat anything. And one night you might be getting a spike. Anyway, where was Jordan?
He had slept in.
Oh.
I'm assuming she told him he could sleep in.
So I got an idea. What if Rob and I, if this doesn't work out, we're about to ask the tarot. What if we go and seek Megan out as a sister wife? and she can come here and take care of Jake and take care of my type 1 diabetes.
There you go. That's a thought.
I think everyone will enjoy it.
Maybe not Megan.
But Rob and I like to sleep in.
Don't we all like to sleep in? I have 3 dogs. I never get to sleep in.
Yeah, I just let mine poop in the house and I clean it up later. Or let Rob
Well,
clean it
mine
up.
want to eat, so they'll sit there and bark and bark and bark until I get up and feed them.
All right. Well, let's. I thought it was cute that they were cuddling. They seemed to get along. I liked it. I liked what we talked about. All right. Let's pull these cards. I'm going to shuffle them, put them down. Just as we don't give any legal advice here, and it's for entertainment purposes only, I am not a professional psychic. This is a deck that my friend brought me back from New Orleans, along with Voodoo Doll, for funsies. Any tarot reading on this program is for entertainment purposes only. Anyway, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to feel out my Halloween deck.
Okay.
We're going to feel 4 cards. I'm just going to ask, please direct me to pick out a card for each of the couples to show what their results will be at the altar. That one.
Well, and are we going to mention that Megan and Jordan's said that they were soulmates at the tarot reading?
Well,
That's
it
why we're
did.
only doing these 4.
So let's put my skills up to this lady.
Okay.
Our combined skills. We know what her reading says. We'll see what ours does. All right,
Okay.
Dee, I've got 4 cards in front of me from left to right. I want
Okay.
you to tell me which one the first one belongs to, the second one, the third, and the fourth. The couples we have remaining are Joe and Madison, Jordan and Megan.
KB and Edmund, and Ali and Anton.
Exactly. All right. So card number 1, whose card is up?
I'm going to say Ali and Anton.
Number 2.
Let's go with Megan and Jordan.
Number 3.
KB and Edmund.
And number 4 would be Joe and Madison.
And Madison. Yeah.
All right. Let's see what we have for each of them. I feel like a lot of times when we pull these cards, they always end up upside down with the reverse meaning. So I wonder how this will turn out.
The last time we did it, they were just about every single one of them was the reverse meaning.
We were asking about podcasting. I think it was telling us, back out, fail.
We had the signs, Lauren. We had all of the signs.
And we're still ignoring them. All right. So 2 of our cards are upside down and 2 are right side up. But for Ali and Anton, we have the Ace of Wands, which on the Halloween tuck is the Ace of Imps, right side up. So I think this means they're going to say yes at the altar. The Ace of Imps, it's a card that's more about passion than rationality. It's more driven by emotion than logic. So there's an emphasis on passion. And from the beginning, we've seen this couple have a lot of passion. But when we started looking at long-term potential compatibility and concerns, they seem like a yes until we got to the party, which may be something she thinks he can grow out of. But I think she's going to realize he is who he is, which is where I think that long-term stability gets rocky. I think it's going to have to do with his drinking. But this predicts a yes. It's giving major yes energy. The imps or the wands, they're fast moving. This is a fast moving process. And it gives a willingness to try to see where the spark leads to let's just give it a shot. So this has yes energy to me for Ali and Anton.
Yay!
All right. Next up is Meg and Jordan. And they got an upside down Queen of Ghosts.
Ooh.
And cups would be the ghosts in the Halloween deck. All right. So reverse Queen of Cups. Reverse means as the opposite meaning of what the upright Queen of Cups would mean. This card is signaling uncertainty. There is some doubt in this relationship, and it could be an imbalance. One partner may show that one has more doubt than the other. So it's leaning toward either a no or a shaky yes. If it is a yes, then the couple will still have some uncertainty at the beginning. And it's not that they don't love each other. It's that they're afraid of not getting their needs met or of being hurt. Basically, the person is torn between how they feel and their fear. So I think this actually plays quite well into what we've said over this season with this couple.
Mm-hmm.
With Luca, Megan has shown some doubt, and Jordan has completely validated that. Before she even showed doubt, he validated that this is a hard thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
We've even questioned whether or not this amount of time is going to be enough to make this sort of commitment. And I think at one point we both agreed they would be better to maybe extend the engagement.
Mm-hmm.
But you can tell from a feeling standpoint, they are all in.
Yeah, I agree.
I think there's fear and doubt because this is not just, I mean, there's going to be fear and doubt even if it's just a guy you're marrying, but this is a family. So that's how I think it plays into that reading. And it's not necessarily either that or what the other psychic said about them being soulmates. They can be soulmates. And with this quick process and a child involved, still care about each other, but still have some doubts and feel uncertain.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, all right. Next up, KB and Edmund. And we have a upside down Ace of Pumpkins. And the pumpkins in the Halloween deck are Pentacles. So the reversed Ace of Pentacles. This shows practical doubts, shaky foundation, possibly a bit weak of a foundation. It usually shows that there's hesitation about the practicality of marriage, maybe a question as to whether one or both of them are ready to have a marriage, like a stable foundation. You're ready to build the house. This one, they're not sure that it's stable enough. It might be that they have differing expectations or like a differing readiness to settle. It's a warning that they may not be fully grounded and they could face turbulence early on. It doesn't mean that yes is off the table, but basically it's kind of like wrong timing. This is not the right time for them to get married, which would lean more towards a no, if anything, a prolonged and later on yes. Kind of like what I was feeling for Meg and Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
The lack of security, the doubt, that describes Edmund and a lot of what I see him expressing.
Right. And even her when she said, the potential.
Right. He's not ready.
Mm-hmm.
She sees the seed is planted there, but is it going to grow?
Right.
So it points toward a no because they're not ready. If anything, a yes later on. Last up, Joe and Madison. We got to right side up the lovers. I mean, that's a good sign, especially how the last episode ended.
Yeah.
I guess it's because it is. Maybe not. The Lovers, this is its traditional name. And in the context of Love is Blind, this is probably one of the most pivotal cards I could have drawn. And it signals a moment of intense vulnerability and a defining moment in this relationship that is going to change them both forever. For the lovers to work, they both have to come to a decision. But this is a choice. They've got this magnetic pull toward each other. They're drawn to each other. There's an intense attraction, but they're at a major crossroads. If this couple has trust issues or problems with communicating or conflicting values, they're at a major crossroads. If they have those issues, that signals a no. It's about a decision. Because of the connection, sometimes it can be confused with just meaning that they are going to say yes and end up together, because there's that it symbols this strong emotional connection. Could be physical, it could be any kind of connection, but it signals a strong connection with them. But we see Joe facing this choice. You can see this conflict on this couple.
Yeah.
And that's where we left off this week. I don't think we did too bad on those cards.
I don't think we did either. I think they were
But who
pretty
knows?
I think they were pretty balls on with all these couples.
Watch Nick and what's their face get back together, and then we have to pull a whole nother card. No, I'm just kidding. All right. So yes, we start off in the aftermath of Joe sitting in his car because he couldn't figure out which flavor tux he wanted. Okay, so we start with Madison crying on the floor, talking to what appears to be her mom, and saying Joe left. And Joe walks in the door, and I'm like, he's back. He's back. He's hungry. He's going in the pantry, or he's going to hide in the closet like Edmund did. I mean, either way, he might be scared. And then Madison tells her mom, she gives her the tea about apparently what's happened since Joe took a walk around the block and came back, and this call. Although she's packing a suitcase.
Yeah. She said he just felt completely detached. He told her that she's not his person. And if they go to the altar, he'll say no.
Well, dang the lover's card about making a decision right off the dang bat.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like he's making his choice. He wasn't a question.
I think we saw this coming with him, though.
The cards don't lie. For entertainment purposes only. So Joe is sitting at the counter with a bowl of lemons. Maybe you should make some lemonade.
Or to margaritas.
Cheers.
You make them
Lemon
with
shot.
You make them with lime, don't you?
You do, but maybe some lemon shots. I think Joe could put down on some lemon shots.
Yeah, I was going to say, it shows you how much I know about making margaritas. I thought that it was lemons, not limes.
So Madison is asking Joe why he let her do the dress stuff. And I'm thinking, why didn't you listen to him when he told you, I don't know, week 1, that even though he loves you, he had some uncertainty that all the guys did, that this process, I think he was realizing it's too fast.
Well, especially with him. Like, he's had an issue with acclimating with the quickness since the get-go, since the reveal. Yeah. It takes him longer to process the moments that they're in when they're in them.
I saw an interview with Blake about why he left early. He said that they told you, the producers, if you don't feel like you can do this, then leave. It's not going to be worth your time. And he realized he wasn't going to be where he could get married. Like, he figured out in the pods, and that's why he left, because he thought that was the rules.
Yeah. I think when he was talking to production or whatever the day that he left, I remember him saying, this isn't for me. I need longer.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But he also said he didn't expect to feel how he felt about the women he was dating. So I could see where it might catch someone off guard. They get swept up in it. They really want to try it, but that rational brain just kind of kicks in. It's not about the draw and the connection. It's about, oh my gosh, I don't really know this person. And you probably think that more if the person is exploding on you all the time.
Right. Well, that's what, she keeps wanting to know why. Is it me? She wants a definite answer, and he keeps saying, I can't give you one. And I'm just like, you never listen to him. He told you that, every time he tries to express his feelings, you go ballistic on him. You blow up. You turn everything around. He's afraid to even say what he thinks because of your reactions to what he says. Yeah.
I agree. He even said at one point, well, then I guess I just won't say anything because I can't. Like, you will not let me express or validate anything that I'm feeling.
Yeah. And she did a lot of what Annie would do too, putting words in his mouth that he wasn't, she would interpret things and say, and he'd be like, that's not what I said.
And he doesn't deny that he loves this person. It's just not right for him, which kind of what happened at his other wedding, according to kind of what we're hearing on the show. He kept giving it another chance and another chance.
Well, and she even made assumptions, it's interesting that this comes after we meet the singles. And, me and you were like, he didn't have anybody. He didn't have another connection, did he?
That was it. He didn't even talk to the only single that he talked about during that whole singles thing. The only one he was focused on, the only one he was paying attention to was Nick.
Yeah. Because we had some jokes about it because he was drunk and roasting.
They left together.
Nick. Yeah. Yeah.
He had to make a choice, Nick or Madison. And Nick, given Annie, who better could understand exactly what Jordan is feeling right now?
Yeah. I don't think Joe's going to fit in that sweater hanging in Nick's closet, though.
Nah, that one was
Well,
made for Nick.
somebody, a poodle. I'm tired.
We just recorded something and I didn't even press the record button. Okay, so holy crap, there it goes again.
I thought she asked him the weirdest question, the oddest question.
Yeah,
Because she said, okay, so what do you think when you imagine me with somebody else? And I'm like, why is she asking him that? Like, that's the weirdest question. That's so odd.
because in her head, she didn't think that he would say no, I guess.
I mean, it's irrelevant to the conversation they're having right now. I guess that's the first thing. It's not
I think
important.
she's just processing. She thought she'd spend the rest of her life with this guy, and she's just processing that it's not happening.
Well, maybe she should have listened to him then when he talked.
Yeah, isn't it funny how all of a sudden he's telling her he can't do this, it's not right, and she remembers what she heard him say but always pretended she didn't hear, which was, I think this is just a timing thing.
Mm-hmm.
Are you sure that you want it to be over? Now she's willing for it to be a timing thing and to take it slow and understand that he's freaked out about it. All of a sudden now, when it's finger on the warhead, she's ready to acknowledge his feelings. And how does he react? Says the timeline, it's not that. Outside of this, they actually would have been less likely to work out because he wouldn't have gotten to know her as well. They're going to make this. People are going to sit there and say this is because of her size. Because we saw him say that this is not his typical type. Look, my typical type isn't ripped head to toe. That doesn't mean that I didn't think that dude last week from 90 Day Fiancé wasn't hot.
Mm-hmm.
Dylan was a little cutie with a booty and a 8-pack.
Uh-huh.
It doesn't mean that you don't like it. It's just like, oh, like, I never thought I would be with a blonde.
Yeah. I agree with you. I think they're going to try and make this about her body or something like that. But in reality, honestly,
he just said that she's like the best and the physical connection is amazing and he loves that part.
the cuddling and the snuggles, the sex,
Yes.
everything. He said he loved all of that. I honestly
He's all
believe
about getting up in there.
it's because he has no voice with her. He has absolutely no voice with her. And I don't blame him. I wouldn't want to spend the rest of my life married to somebody that doesn't hear me.
Especially on such an important decision that impacts both of you.
Right.
It was a good choice for both of them. I do feel like it's a wrong timing thing. She couldn't get past the fact that she's not who he typically dates.
Well, I mean, she may have some issues from previous relationships regarding stuff like that too. Who knows? I don't know, but I don't think it has anything to do with how she looks. She's beautiful.
Shouldn't that attitude be, it's a good thing that I'm not what he usually dates, because what he usually dates doesn't work out.
Right.
And I think he meant by, I wouldn't have gotten to know you, because like his last relationship, he wanted to give it his all.
Mm-hmm.
And it got too far. He's like, maybe I can fix this. He's a fixer. Him and KB are fixers.
Got lots of fixers.
Which it shows like they're very nurturing. He said if she lost her vision, he would, like, without hesitation, do that for the person he loves. Absolutely. Yeah. I hate that people are going to make it out that way. And I hate that she feels like that's what the problem is.
Yeah.
But I think deep down, she knew, she felt secure in the connection because she really seemed shocked that they weren't even going to be dating.
Yeah, he does. I don't think he wants to even date or take it slow or nothing.
No. Well, he's got to be part of the couple. It can't be her telling him how he feels and going through the motions.
Well, yeah, because
If
obviously
he can't express it.
I mean, well, and he spent 5 years in a relationship like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
He's probably seeing a lot of similarities and it's freaking him out even more.
Honestly, if you've been that close before
Mm-hmm.
or through it before, I feel like you put up with less because you're
not going to do it again. Yeah, you're going to know immediately. Mm-hmm.
Right.
I agree.
And Madison starts to show herself. She's hurt. She is hurting. She says this is ending an engagement, not just a breakup.
Mm-hmm.
And it's only been a month or a little longer. I was with the guy that I was engaged to. for 3 months. So it was also very short, engaged after 11 days. Kind of similar to this, I guess. But we had like moved in together. I had gotten rid of my apartment. I'd actually moved my law firm 3 hours away.
Oh,
wow.
Mm.
That was a little bit more of a commitment. We like had joint bank accounts, reservations down for wedding stuff. Anyway, I was turning 30. I wanted to get married and have kids one day. It's a long story. As Madison starts to escalate and she's asking him, you're not even going to hug me. Very accusatory, like trying to make him out to be a bad person. And he's like, no, I'll hug you. And then she's like, fuck it. Starts cussing. She gets up and you can see him disassociating on the couch. He is exiting this world with her about to go off. And he's like covering his face. It's like he's trying to hide from it. If you look at his body language, that's how I took it. And she's escalating. I feel like I'm going to throw up, saying that out loud. And then I can barely breathe. Kind of like when Edmund was escalating last week with, I'm going to die, I'm going to die.
Mm-hmm.
Madison says, thank you for being my journey on this. And they kind of have a moment and he says, thank you the same. And then he grabs something, leaves, and she's just breaking down, crying again, like on her knees. So even though it's a short period of time, it doesn't mean that they didn't have very strong emotions for each other, that they didn't care about each other. And ultimately, it just wasn't a good match because they weren't communicating well. She had a block up when he tried to express himself. Maybe he's responsible for that block in some way. Maybe there's something he could have, I'm sure there is something he could have done differently too. Look at how Jordan reassures Megan.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of like emotional regulation, we move on to KB and Edmund. Looks like they're snowboarding and they're sitting up at the top of the mountain. Actually, it looks like they're hiking. They're sitting up at the top of the mountain, and that off camera, Ed is dismissive, but on camera, he's like, hey, baby, let's go take a picture. He's kind of ramped up. So given that interview I saw with Madison, this seems to be a common complaint for cast members, even on this show. It's not the first time I've seen a cast member on the show say that off camera, the person acts differently. And I think there could be a lot of different factors for that. It could be that they know they're going to be televised to lots and lots and lots of people, and they want a good edit. They don't want to look dumb
Or like an ass.
It could be that they are working so much throughout the day and trying to get to know this person that they are emotionally and physically exhausted. So unless they have to be on, they might as be chilling. I do that.
I mean, I think the off-camera stuff should be just as telling with the relationship as on camera. Like, you're still getting this person and seeing them differently other than on camera. So it still should give you a lot of information.
Maybe. I compare it to like vacation information. When you're on vacation, it's not the same routine. It's not the same person that you're going to have in your normal life. It's vacation,
Right.
Lauren.
And
if you are on camera, it's camera, Lauren. If you're talking to somebody, it's what kind of legal thing am I negotiating, Lauren?
Right.
Depends on the situation. So,
well, and it's very interesting that you say that, because on the last episode, I was thinking the exact same thing about the drinking that we're seeing. Could it possibly be that Anton doesn't really drink that much, but he's kind of in like this vacation mode since it's not his normal life?
And it's also a stressful situation.
Right.
So, but she's saying he's being dismissive, which kind of sounds like he's straight up ignoring her. Or doing what Madison was doing to Joe and just it's all about his feelings.
Yeah.
Which we've seen.
Yeah, usually when somebody says dismissive, and I think we've seen it with Nick and Annie. We've seen it with Joe and Madison, but it's basically just not acknowledging anything that she's saying and not listening to what she's saying.
Being dismissive isn't good. It doesn't mean that he's a bad person, but it's not what you want going into a marriage.
Right. It's not an acknowledgement of what you're trying to speak to this person. It's
But
a complete-
how much of an effect is the camera? And are you really ever going to be on camera again? 5 years from now, 10 years from now.
Right. But what she was trying to say is off camera he was dismissive. So which is the real him? If he's off camera and he's dismissive of what she says, but then when the cameras are on and he's acting all attentive and stuff, that's not
Right.
good. She's
Well,
not
yeah.
getting a she's not
It just
getting a good
depends, like, is
reflection of
he-
him.
Is he zoning out to like get away from the hustle all day? And it's not that he's dismissive, he's just disassociating. Or is it that he's just rude as fuck?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's hard to tell because of the circumstances, which is one of the things that makes this absolutely insane and a great show. And we see him start disassociating right there, which is what she says he does off camera. He may have done this on camera too, and they could have just edited it out to make this part look really good. Since she accused him, they're like, okay, let's edit it that way. But you see him disassociating. It's when his connection is shaky. He had a shaky connection with his mom. And when there's a shaky, he's like taking himself out of that pain of what he had growing up. And it's similar, I think, with Madison and Joe. That connection was shaky with Madison. And he disassociated from it, which we don't know a lot about anything. We're just talking our opinions. But I think they said that his last girlfriend, it's like he kept trying to convince himself and probably disassociating through the reality of it, which is how he got so far. Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're both doing it over a shaky connection.
Yeah. Edmund, I think that his dismissiveness or what she's he just shuts down if he doesn't hear what he wants to hear. That's basically what he does. He does
It's
not
like a form of self-protection or something.
Something. I mean, as soon as she starts telling him, things that are upsetting her, he doesn't want to take accountability for them, and then he just dismisses what she's saying like it doesn't matter.
And she handles this with grace. And I'm not being sarcastic because my ass have been flying off the handle at him. She gets upset, but I'd be going crazy on his ass.
Yeah. Well, I probably would have too. She told him he needed to grow up. And so again, the conversation looks like a parent talking to a child again.
Exactly. But yeah, KB also said that Edmund was being a bitch. Ooh.
And I get it. Yeah, I get it too. Because, she's telling him, you do this to me. You make me so upset and bring me out of my character, out of the person that she is, and makes her show a side that she doesn't want to be. She doesn't want to be angry and saying things like that to him.
All right. Survey of the day. Should she marry Edmund then?
I haven't thought she should marry him anyway. I thought that his explosion when they were in Cabo about her saying that she had a one night stand but wasn't going to sleep with him was ridiculous and over the top. And I would have been like, ding, 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 he's gone.
She says she loves the guy that she knew in the pods and for the first 2 weeks, but she was ignoring the signs, the emotional instability, even in the pod. She took it as he is comfortable with his emotions and he can show them, when I think it really was he doesn't have great control of his emotions.
Yeah, that's why he was crying so much.
His mom decides to give everybody some advice that Ali tells her afterwards. Well, we disagree there in a very nicest possible way. All right. So in a marriage, it is important that men do not forget dates, the day they met, birthdays, anniversaries. So it's good that the women don't have to remember. No. Some people keep track of the month that they dated, how many months, or the first day that they met.
I couldn't tell you the first day that my husband and I met. But I do remember him forgetting our anniversary 1 year.
Oh, we both forget ours every year.
Yeah, it did
December
not go
30th,
well.
but
It didn't go well.
I'm like, last Valentine's Day, my neighbor said, "You've got to get Rob a Valentine's present." I was like, "No, I don't." And she's
Yeah.
like, "Yes, you do." I was like, "Oh, he's not going to get me one. We're fine."
Yeah,
We're
we didn't
good.
do that. Yeah, we didn't do that kind of stuff. We had a discussion about it, believe it or not. And we're just like, you know what? We get ourselves whatever we want throughout the year and get things for each other throughout the year. So we're not going to focus on specific holidays and doing special things for, Valentine's Day. even
Every day is
birthdays.
special.
Yeah, we were doing all kinds of stuff. So we weren't going to narrow it down to specific.
She also says that you basically have to do everything with your spouse. If one is at work, the other is at home. If the other is at work, the one is at home. What if Allie's in school and Anton has to work?
I don't know what she was thinking. And I'm coming from somebody whose husband worked away from home. Like he was gone like 4 and 5 days a week.
I'm more of an extrovert than Rob. Rob is more introverted. And if he needs to like stay at home and recharge, Jake and I, the extroverts, we just like go do this stuff with our friends.
Yeah.
And the same thing, like sometimes I'm exhausted and Rob will take him out. I mean, look, he's my partner. He's not something stuck on the side of my ass.
Well, yeah. And I also was thinking maybe it was getting lost in the translation because she is saying this in her native language. She wasn't saying it in English.
Also, I thought about that, but Ali says, I don't agree with that.
Well, and when she was talking about them going out to bars with their friends and the spouse being at home, she said, don't forget that you have a spouse at home. She didn't.
Well, she said, don't do it. She says, you stay at home and wash dishes.
Oh, shit. Yeah. I didn't agree with that one.
So, I mean, yeah. Yeah, I don't agree with it either.
Well, she's older. There's a lot of traditional values with older people. Actually,
And Anton says he'll go to her for advice. So
yeah. Don't, Anton. Don't.
Anton's not going to. He was already sitting there going off with Patrick earlier. Although I guess if he was with Allie, then she wouldn't have had questions about the beer.
Touche.
I love Jordan and Megan.
I do too. I like
This reminds me of like a Pretty Woman storyline.
the hat shopping. What was the hat burning about?
Well, they were just, I guess, decorating their hat and you can have it burn. I don't know.
Oh.
Do I look like I have a cowboy hat?
No. They're going to wear them on their wedding, though. Not
On the
the
way
ceremony,
in.
yeah.
They both love that.
I have a feeling them hats is going to make their way to the bedroom, too.
Underneath the
They'd be like,
bed.
Come to bed, wear nothing but your hat and your boots.
I don't know. Look, Jordan was giving Smokey the Bear vibes.
Oh.
Make it look cute in her hat. And she was even like, at first I was thinking, don't set the forest on fire, no s'mores. And now she's starting to think it's cute. How much wine has she had?
Was it wine tasting too at the Western store?
Well, they have those 2 glasses, those 2 gold glasses.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So then there was some drinking there. Okay. She's got beer goggles on. She's got her beer goggles on.
Yeah, that hat gets cuter the more you drink. That's what happened. Megan is seriously considering numerology when she is considering buying a house. And she tells Joe about like her past houses. And he's just like, it's wild, but okay. So, of course, Dee and I had to look ours up. Now, my house is a 7, which is the same as the first house Megan said she had. Not the one where she made all the money. The one that was like inward spiritual growth and finding yourself. And I'm thinking like, what has changed between my last house and the move here?
Mm-hmm.
We started the podcast.
True.
I've been thinking about it since I lived in the last house. And then D, yours is an 11, which is like the master house. It is ideal for healers, creators, spiritual seekers, intuitive are artistic people. And it's good for intuition, sensitivity, inspiration, and growth.
Mm-hmm. I believe that.
Maybe your affirmations work.
Maybe. I don't know. But I was telling you after what you had read it to me, I was like, yes, because I can talk to people on the phone and I just get either good vibe, bad vibe.
You do.
And I don't normally do that when I'm not in person with them.
The tux. It's not just Megan's day. It's not just Sparkle Megan's day. It ain't
No.
all sparkles.
No, Nick Lachey told him it was his day too, and that he should pick the tux that he wants.
And none of the guys are wearing black except
Joe.
Joe. According to Jordan. Oh yeah, Joe's probably the only one wearing black. Yeah, it's his funeral. He's got a dark burgundy tux. I like it. I think that will look good.
I don't know, because I was watching his face and I'm sitting here thinking, okay, this is another Jordan thing where I'm like, is he serious or is he joking? Because I can't tell.
At some point in this conversation, I wrote down Jordan's cute. The hat's growing on me.
She liked the hat on him.
It did
Especially
not
when
take
his
long.
arm came up with the tattoos next to his head with that hat. I'm telling you, the hats are going in the bedroom.
Are you talking about what Megan likes or what Dee likes?
Well, yeah, both, I guess. She likes these tattoos, and I'm sure she likes the hat on him, too.
You're intuing this.
I'm intuing it. I'm intuing it.
Edmund more gracefully pulled what Madison tried to pull, except Madison's was done in defense of Joe breaking up with her. Edmund also finally heard what KB was saying, like at the last minute, but he listened. He came back with flowers. He apologized. She said, I appreciate you coming in, not being on your phone, like sitting down, talking to me, validating what he's doing and recognizing what he's doing and showing him how to treat her and what works. She's awesome at communication.
She is. I mean, she did an amazing job. And then, she also apologized to him that she should have never cussed him out, talked to him the way that
she said, I'm
did.
not that girl anymore. I was like, oh, I am. I need to work on that.
I'm not. Yeah.
Dee and I can have some, not with each other, but
Yeah.
anyway.
I'm not very nice when I get mad.
You were saying.
I forgot now.
Feels like Friday, but it's Wednesday. All right. So she also beefed him up, made him feel good about them and their relationship, reassured him that they could move forward. Change doesn't happen overnight. This is a great first step, but I think like their card said, not yet.
Mm-hmm.
He's got to build that foundation. One brick isn't going to do it. Anyway, Ali and Anton, they go on a little snowy carriage ride and freeze to death with each other with blankets that barely cover them beside a fire while she's wearing a dress. Production did not give them the dress code for this. Or they were like, just freeze. We'll give you a blanket. And I like the energy that Eddie and KB are bringing with this rollerblading. Adorable.
Oh, it was so cute, so fun. He was very attentive with her.
He wasn't on his phone. He was holding her hands, teaching her how to skate, and she did it.
He was taking a stronger role. That was the first time I've seen him actually having the stronger role because he was teaching her. Yeah, he was teaching her how to do the rollerblading. Yes.
Is that decision? Interesting. That had a whole different energy to it.
I don't know. Yeah. And it could have been
He's changed the momentum here.
Yeah. It could have been the music too, because this is where the theme of the title for the episode comes in, the Don't Go Breaking My Heart. So
yeah,
it's playing
by
the whole
Elvis.
time there. Yeah. No, Elton John.
Just kidding.
It was
same diff.
I'm one of those people that when I hear a song, if I don't know who the author is, I have to go and look to see who sings it because it drives me bonkers until I find the answer.
Like More Than Words by Extreme.
Only you did it in reverse. You sang it horribly, and I didn't recognize the song until you told me what the title was. Sure.
I'm just going to slurp on that drink.
Mm-hmm.
Get my vocal cords wet. And we end with Jordan and Megan. Do you think this was production driven?
Maybe. It's a possibility.
Because they were both smiling the whole time. There's dramatic music. They're great communicators. Basically, he's really upselling this dad life. People keep saying that, oh, he's using his kid, which, yeah, like that's one of her favorite things. But she's 33. She wants him to reverse the vasectomy. She wants to have kids. And he's saying, are you sure you're ready for him? Because look, I'm tired. I'm exhausted. And she says she understands, but she's not living with a kid, caring for a kid.
She's not working a 40-hour plus week. You know,
financially, she's not the person responsible for this kid. She's not the one who has to go get him at school when they have 103 fever. With diabetes, that's even more than that. And he's working late and he's talking all day. We talk a lot during the day too. I'm not talking about the podcast, but like from a law perspective, when I say work, it's the law, because this is our hobby. This isn't making any money. Not one dime. I am spending money every month to make this podcast because this is our fun. This is like our outlet.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say there has been times that, you know, my kids have called me of an evening after working and stuff, and I'll be like, I just really don't want to talk. I have talked all day. I can't talk right now.
I got it. Like, completely understand. And Rob doesn't want to hear about my job. And I don't want to talk about work outside of work. Like, if my friends have questions, I'm always redirect over, call the firm, we'll schedule time to talk about whatever you need to talk about. And if I need to vent, I call one of my attorney friends.
Or me.
Or you. Yes. It depends. If it's something like from a legal standpoint within the law, Darl.
Yeah. For sure. When you can get him.
When I can usually get him. I called him the other day though, and he called me back twice, and I didn't call him back. I was at a low capacity. I slept all weekend. So I get it. He's making valid points. Traveling with a kid is like a chore. And he says you need to compromise. So maybe the compromise is go and bring the nanny with you.
Right. Take a nanny with you when you want to do trips and things like that.
Still, you're responsible, and that can be a heavy burden. But
yeah, but I totally got
not
what he
burden,
was saying.
but
yeah,
not burden, not burden.
Right, but he can't go play tennis at 10:30 in the morning like rich men can do, or golf, or go to Aspen for 3 or 4 days, or go to LA for a couple of days, or fancy restaurants several times a week. He's not gonna have the energy for that.
And Megan makes a valid point. Marriage shouldn't be about a lifestyle overhaul. But as soon as she said that, I said, it's not marriage. It's kids.
Yes.
Kids are a lifestyle overhaul. As much as you try not to lose the way it used to be, what holds me, I'm tired. I'm tired just like Jordan.
Yeah. It is. It's a huge change for the way you can't just up and go places. You can't just up and do things. Everything revolves around the kids. If you want to go without the kids, then you got to make sure that you can find somebody to watch the kids. Or if you do want to go and take the kids, then it's got to be kid friendly. You got to find kid friendly things to do. I mean,
you're making sure nothing happens to them, making
right.
sure they get food, making sure they're bathed. I mean, so yeah, Jordan, he's kept it real from the beginning in the pods. He said this isn't glamorous.
Yeah.
He said his ideal night was like to drink wine and watch a movie.
Right.
He's been very honest about this whole thing, even though it's not glamorous.
Yeah,
but I think it's production.
Yeah, it's a good possibility. I hate to see that he's getting a lot of backlash on social media and stuff because people think he's using these kids. I don't think he's using these kids. I think he's being upfront, trying to see this is the real thing. This is what my life is. And that's why Luca is at the forefront of all of his conversations, because if you're marrying him, this is the way his life is. And it's really important for that person to understand he doesn't operate like a single person without children.
Also, he has, it sounded like split custody. So it might be frustrating too for her to see him have half the week where he doesn't have Luca, but him still be exhausted and need to recharge. Although like a couple of days is nice. Like sometimes I will take Jake, or Rob will take Jake, and we'll go to the beach house or go see our parents or something. So the other one can stay home and get stuff done. It's not like we're going out and having a great time. It's
Or recharge.
catch up on laundry.
Look, I don't even have kids at home, and I want to recharge on the weekends.
I want to recharge as soon as work is done, podcasting's done. I'm like, where's that recliner? Boom.
Like sometimes I don't even want to fix something to eat. I'm like, bowl of cereal. I'm like exhausted.
Sometimes I don't even eat. All right. Well, that's this week's episodes of Love is Blind. Next week we have the weddings. Make sure you like and subscribe. Thanks for listening to our nonsense on a Wednesday afternoon. You and I are going to be lawyering for the rest of the week, lawyer and paralegaling. We're going to be doing that legal stuff. We're going to be giving that legal advice. We're going to be filing those documents. We're going to do it. I told her
actually go do our job.
even if I get sick, I was like, I'm going to power through because my kid has the 103 fever. I'm like, I'm doing it. I'm powering through.
You'll be sick probably about the time the weekend gets here.
I won't disappoint you, boss.
Yes,
I won't be
know.
calling out.
My nickname. We need to get a hold of Liz. Liz.
Well, she was
Liz,
just
we're
texting
all-
me about Monopoly Go, which I completed my Monopoly Go album for anyone who plays
Right.
Monopoly Go. I got strategies. Dee loves this game, Redecor, and I got in and figured out how to make
thank
her a
you very much,
multimillionaire.
because you went and you posted how to become a multimillionaire, and now they've changed everything in the game. Like I won't even go over there and do the journals anymore because I lose money instead of gain money.
Are you telling me I have to get back on this and tell you how to make money again?
Yeah, sure.
I got to
can
figure out their
it
new
out
algorithm.
again.
We
Yeah.
should do an
And
episode
don't
one day
share
on
it.
games.
Don't
But
share
yeah,
it this
Monopoly
time.
Go easily completed the album. We'll talk about that another day.
Yeah.
Love is Blind. Thanks for listening. We'll be back next week with Love is Blind, Sunday with Sister Wives, and Tuesday with 90 Day the other way. Thanks for listening, Channel Surfers. We love you so much. We appreciate all your comments, your likes. We've got 72 subscribers on YouTube and 5 more subscribers on TikTok, which Dee and I were freaking out. We were like, 7 people in one. That was like the best part of the day. That was super exciting for us. And then I went through and I commented and talked to everybody. This one person was like, his name is Brennan. Get his name right if you're going to podcast. I was like, dude, that was the first week Love is Blind came out, and we did not expect to get beaten up with 6 episodes plus doing legal work. That was like 2 full-time jobs that week. Like, my brain wasn't working.
Well,
This is my hobby.
They should actually just watch the episodes, because they would realize that you don't even call the people by their names sometimes.
No, usually I'm like, who?
And I'm like, I have to I'm like, it's not Nick, it's Joe. It's not Joe, it's Jordan.
As long as I remember the important stuff. All right, Channel Surfers. We'll see you soon. Bye.
Let's ride.
Join